Unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, 'cause you don't love me no more. Every time I call you on the phone, some fella tells me that you're not at home. Unchain my heart, set me free.
Hello and welcome back to True Original Artists. Joe Kidd here. First of all, I'd like to say that it's great to be doing my show out of Stoughton, Massachusetts right now. And I'd like to start by saying thank you to SMAC for welcoming me to Stoughton. And thank you for all your help in the studio. You guys have been great. And this is my first show back. I took a hiatus for about a year. I had a couple of back surgeries and a little recovery time necessary. But anyways, today I have a special guest with me. For my first show, I'd like to bring a Stoughton, an owner of a Stoughton business, which pertains to music very much so. And I think it's where we all start as kids and we grow to be adults. Whether or not we make it through to be stars or not, that's another story. But anyways, today's guest is Robert Tarchara from Stoughton Music Center. Hey, Rob.
Joe, how you doing? Thanks for having me here.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Same.
And I know this is a little different for you, coming on a live show. And,
Yes, it is, yes.
You know, we have a lot of fans, actually. I come from Easton, and I had a lot of fan base up in Easton watching this show a lot. And I had a lot of fun guests, you know. But now, what I'd like to do with you today is talk about how it all begins.
Love to talk about it.
You know?
Yes.
And the main thing is that I'd like to say is, first of all, is basically we all have children at a certain age, and we bring them up, and as soon as they start school at a very young age, they want to play an instrument, right?
You got it, yeah.
Now,
we hope.
Let's talk a little bit about that. When the kids come in, and they're young kids, the parents want them to learn an instrument, such as, let's pick one. What's your most popular instrument?
Well, it changes, but right now it would be, I would say, piano.
Okay.
Piano. It used to be guitar. They were always neck and neck, guitar and
So
piano.
how old are these kids, basically, when they come
We
in?
could start a piano student as young as 5, and we start guitar between the ages of 6 and 7 for physical limitations on the fingers.
Wow, that's nice. Now, do you find the young kids, like maybe more boys than girls, pick the piano more, or?
It's even.
Is it?
It's even, yeah.
Okay, because in my head, I figure boys would probably want to rock and roll more, and guitar and drums, things like that.
When I first started many years ago doing this, yes, but it's
Right?
changed now. So girls and boys, they're interchangeable in all the instruments.
Now, let me ask you the same speaking about that. I know we watch these shows they have out now, like The Voice, America's Got Talent, and all these. And I see all these young kids. I mean, really young. Do you watch any of these shows by any chance?
I confess I do not, because when I'm away from the store, I try to stay away from,
Okay.
from watching too much music.
I got you. You gotta have a little
50,
break.
60 hours of my week, so
I got you.
I like to watch sports and movies.
Right. Now, as far as the kids go, I mean, when they're that young,
Yes.
I mean, do you see consistency from these kids, or do you see them a little get out of focus once in a while from their lessons?
We book the lessons at the store by the month, and we said for the parents, try it out for a month, 4 lessons. Get an idea if they like it or not. If they hopefully they do like it, they renew for a following month. So it's basically based on the progress and the practicing, and the parents, you know, so they're not going to continue to pay for something if the kids don't participate in practice.
With the interest.
So they have to come for a lesson. We give them an assignment, and they got to go home and practice. If they do, they'll exceed, and they'll keep moving forward,
Right.
and hopefully stay with us for a long term.
Now, do you? I should say you and your staff, right? Because you have several.
I have
several teachers.
about 11, I think 11 or 12 teachers on staff right now.
Okay, so that's good. That's really nice.
Yes.
So, do you have certain teachers of specific instruments, or are they kind of intertwine with other instruments?
Yeah, I have a teacher for most instruments.
Okay.
There are a couple that teach multiple instruments, but basically everybody has their specialty.
So, anyone out there that has kids at a young age that wants to start them with an instrument, you know, you just have to go see Robert. I've been in the store many times. He's got everything you need in there, from violins to trumpets to anything you need.
Ukuleles have been huge.
Ukulele's really big.
Huge business.
And especially on those shows that I mentioned.
That I do know, yes.
A lot of these young kids, and I notice it's not just girls, It's boys too.
Oh, yeah.
They pick up the ukulele, and some of them can
I
really
have
play.
had 5 years of incredible growth of sales of ukuleles, and people always say, what do you attribute to? I said, because demographic-wise, it's not for boys, it's not for girls, it's not for old, for young, it's everybody. An 80-year-old man will come in, I want to play ukulele, he'll leave, and then a 6-year-old girl with a parent will say, I want to play ukulele.
Oh, that's funny.
Teenagers, boys, so it's everybody.
Wow.
So it's been an explosion, and I do attribute it to those shows, definitely.
That's
They
funny.
always mention those shows they saw someone playing.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
become part of a cultural thing in mainstream culture, ukulele. It's
I
just
do
fascinating.
find that quite a bit now. Actually, my son, he's 20 now, but as he was growing up, him and I had that thing with that going on. We used to watch some of these shows, and we used to be consistent. Every week, we want to know who's in, who's out, you know, who wins, who loses. So it's kind of interesting. It creates like a little family bond too, like at home, you know, with some parents. And
they're small, they're easy to transport, they're soothing sound, very relaxing.
Right,
And presently, right now, we have 80 ukuleles in stock, the most I've ever had.
You're kidding me.
Yes.
And you'll get rid of them quick, I bet.
One at a time.
And especially now the winter's coming. Do you find there's more kids taking lessons through the winter months?
It is an indoor business, correct, definitely.
Because definitely in the summertime, the kids don't want to.
July and August are my two slowest months.
They wanna be outside.
That's when I take it easy.
That's your downtime.
That's the fun time.
Now let's talk a little bit about you and your past, your background. I know that I've known you quite a while, but we've just started more communicating lately. As far as schools, you went to Stoughton schools, right?
I did. I started at the North School, and then I went to the Jones School when we moved, and then I went to the junior high school and graduated Stoughton High School in 1980.
No, you lived in Stoughton all through your childhood.
Correct. And then I graduated Stoughton High School in 1983.
And then you ran for your life, right?
Off to Boston.
So you haven't lived in Stoughton in a long time, right?
I've lived in Stoughton until 1983, and then I left.
83. Okay, so yeah, you've been away quite a while.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go back to your background as far as music background, because of course, when you open up a music store, you have to know a little bit about music. I mean, people want to come in and ask you some questions regarding an instrument. You have to know what you're talking about, right? But anyways, you started the business in what year?
I started Stoughton Music Center in 1988.
Okay, so when did you graduate? Where'd you go to?
I went to Berkeley College of Music, and I got out of school in 1986.
Okay, so you got out in '86 from Berkeley. So he's a Berkeley grad, so you know he knows his stuff. I myself personally, I know a lot of good friends of mine that are Berkeley graduates, and they're phenomenal musicians, so I respect that. That school is a great school. And they not only teach music as far as instrumentation, they teach everything from theory to sound engineering, everything, right?
Correct, yes.
So they're quite open to just about every aspect in the music business, which I think is great.
And it's fascinating where the school's become today,
Yeah.
where it stands today.
And with the new technology, especially the electronics and everything.
It's an amazing school. You watch the Grammys shows now performed, and they say 60% of either the performers, the producers, or executives involved in the Grammy shows are Berkeley graduates.
Imagine that.
It's amazing.
That's great. I think that's wonderful because I have always had mad respect for anyone that went to Berkeley. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of work, and most of all, passion.
Yes.
I think that's the magic word, right? I mean, passion has to be there. You're not just gonna. It's not like going in and learning how to solder two wires together.
And it exposes internationally to all styles of music from around the world, because it does have the most internationally diverse college demographics in Boston.
Right.
So you meet people from all around the world.
Exactly.
You meet their music, their folkloric music, and the rhythms, and your music just takes off in many directions.
That's right, and I think that's what's wonderful about it today. I'm so happy myself to see all the changes that have gone for the better with music. Correct. Because I've always believed, anyway, from when I started playing when I was maybe 11, 12 years old. I learned my first chord on the guitar when I was like 11, playing Portuguese traditional old folkloric music, you know, 3-chord stuff, you know, C, F, and G, and all these Portuguese traditional songs. But you know something, I find that today, with all the tutorials, back then, you know, you either had to take lessons or you had to have a real good ear and then like teach yourself at home. Because myself personally, that's how I learned. I learned at home, and I just put records on when we had the old 45s and lift the needle up, learn this part, put it back down, and now it's like just hit pause and you're good to go, right? But I mean, they have so many tutorials now. Do you find a lot of kids, like I know you give the lessons? and
Yeah,
everything.
well, YouTube has been a huge. Actually, it's taken a lot of the business away
Right.
in the sense of musical lessons because it's available for free. When I first started the business, and
Exactly.
for the first half of the 30 years I've been doing this, the computer wasn't a factor.
See, that's it.
So it has been a huge factor in learning. So you
Right.
hope if it doesn't inspire someone to learn to play and they start with YouTube, you hope to say, well, I want to get better. I'm not learning what I want to, and then they approach it to take private
Right.
lessons. That's what we hope.
Well, that's why I was gearing to that. Actually, you just answered my next question because I would assume that that's what would happen. Because
That's what we hope. Yes.
the YouTube out there now, sometimes I go on and just to check out different things, and you get all these different musicians out there teaching.
And a lot of the
one thing
information
or
is
the
wrong
other.
too. So
Yeah, a lot of it is wrong.
We've got to correct those bad habits before
You're
they
right.
go further.
You're right, but you know something, that's where the professionals come in.
That's what we hope. They come
And
home.
you know, it's one thing to learn a few chords,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but there is a lot more to it. Correct.
Yes, to take your music to the next level, private lessons, one-on-one is the way to go.
That's right. I agree. Now let's move it up a little bit. Okay, so you finished Berkeley, you started your store, and everything like that. Now, do you work full time at the store, or do you have something else that you do?
I do. I work
So
full
is that
time in
your
the
only
store.
business?
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to go back a little bit to my childhood a little bit. My mother was a music teacher in the Stoughton
Oh,
schools.
yes.
Choral, West School, Chemung School, Jones School, and classroom and choral for over 25 years.
Really?
Yeah. And she was the reason why I play music. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love that because, you know, it's great when there's a parent
Yep.
involved. You know what I mean? When we go to, my mother too, she sang in the church choir, and it's great to
She was
hear
she was a church
See
choir
that?
director, and all my music skills are love of music's from her.
See that? That's phenomenal, man. I love that. And now, what about your dad? Was he involved
My
in
dad was in the car business.
car business?
He's a wheeling dealer, and that's where I get my business skills from.
So you got
I was able to get the best of both worlds and been able to stay in business for 30 years with both skills.
Congratulations, man. That's fantastic. I love that because
Yeah.
that's a great combo too. You know, you
And
got
my mother,
your-
just personal, my mother passed away this year, so it's been
Oh.
a very difficult year for me personally, and I dedicate the store for her.
I'm sorry to hear that, my friend, and it's always tough on that. But you know something? It sounds to me that you have all the memories in the right place.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yep, forever.
So, you know, I think that's wonderful, and you know, God bless you for that. I lost my mother too back in '93, very young, and I know that it hurts. It still hurts today. We all get through the initial part of it.
Just
but
the first year, so it's
you
been
know something.
tough, yeah.
It doesn't get easier, but it gets more accepting.
Yeah.
That's what I say to myself.
Well, I have a picture behind her on my counter at my store, and every day I go to work, it keeps me,
Yeah.
drives me keep going.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but
she-
that's how to do it, you know. And you got to keep the memories alive, and you know, you can't.
No.
Once they go, then everything
That's
goes.
forever. So so that's where I got involved with. I started playing guitar when I was 7. She took me for lessons.
Oh, that's
I think it
funny.
was the old music machine under Papagino's
Oh,
in
yeah.
Cobb's Corner. Yeah. And then
Don't tell me your teacher was John Tolius.
that is one of my teachers. Yeah.
John Tolius played with me for many years
Yeah.
in one of my
I was
bands.
probably 10 or 11 when I went over the music machine. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
too
that's
funny.
good.
He's a great guy. He was a great guy, and I don't know what he's doing these days, but great guitarist.
And it's funny is that they had that business over there when it had moved out of Stoughton. There was a gap when Stoughton didn't have a music store. I was out of college. I was performing, playing on the road with
Yeah.
a top 40 band, and I was young, and so I got in and start that business because they had left to Easton.
Right.
And I saw her, and my mother was working in the schools, and I knew the band director. I said, all right, let's start it. Let's start something small.
No
so
kidding.
that's the little gap that I came in on.
Wow.
And I've been there since.
See that?
So I started on 8 Wyman Street in Stoughton Center, and then in 1993, I moved to my present location on 130.
And I remember that store.
You
on
remember the little
Lyman
store?
Street.
Honeydew Donuts was across the street, Rolling TVs next door.
Sure.
Yes, it was great memories of that little
That
store.
little spot right
Yep,
there.
and we outgrew it, and we were able to expand.
That's fantastic. No, I love your store. Actually, you did a great job with it. I personally, every time I go in there, I'm amazed at how much you got in there. You really do.
We've increased the inventory tremendously over the past
You
couple
really
years.
do. You have a great selection, and you know, and you're competitive. I don't see anything that it's not competitive in there. I mean, everything is right there. The convenience is great.
With parking, which
You
is
have
a
parking.
huge part of having a business successful, having parking.
Yeah, especially in Stoughton.
Yes.
But Stoughton finds a way somehow to make things a little more difficult for some of these business owners once in a while. And
I did see a change, and I've always monitoring, trying to stay ahead of market trends, and did see a change in the consumer habits. As everybody started shopping online many years ago, it got more and more every year. So about 4 years ago, I got involved with an eBay store.
Okay.
And a couple of years ago, I invested in a photography studio in the basement, and now every product that you see in my store is available in our eBay store.
Well, that's great.
It's been tremendous growth for the last 4 years in that store, so that's been great.
You know something? You have to keep up with the times.
We ship worldwide.
You have to. It's just, that's the problem. A lot of these mom and pop stores
have to adapt.
They can't find that bridge to the modern times and the new. You have to do it. You have to graduate to that. If you don't, you're not going to really do much more. You might stay alive here and there because of your loyal clientele, but when it comes to serious business and really, kind of depending on that for your life and support your family.
I wanted to personally thank my longtime employee John Medeiros for getting me involved in the eBay store and doing all the photography. He does all the typing of all. He works incredible.
Now, is he from Stoughton?
He's also from Stoughton.
Is he a musician too?
Yes, he is.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so a shout out to
John Medeiros. Yeah.
John Medeiros, and now he's one of your teachers too.
He's not. He used to teach several years, maybe 15 years store, and just about a couple years ago, I hired him strictly in the retail and to handle my computer business.
Good for you, and that's good because you assign those spots in this way.
Hiring young kids now out of college to come on staff now. So I just hired a couple of new teachers. I want to stay young, and I think the young will be hip with the young.
Now, what's the youngest age that you have as a teacher right now?
Well, I just hired a violin teacher and a guitar teacher, both out of Bridgewater State College the last year. So I believe they're like 24, 25 years old.
Okay, that's perfect.
Just got their degree in music, and they're doing great. I also have the experienced staff. I'm not nothing against being older and experienced, but I wanted to blend it with the youth.
I think that's great, man.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, that's a smart move. Because the young kids, there's a connection.
Correct.
And I know I would have a hard time teaching a young kid on like a guitar or something right today.
Yeah.
Only because the connection is totally different.
Yeah, the patience level of it when you get older is less and less. So I figured, okay, we're going to get younger people in the store. Let's have a younger staff. And I also have an older clientele taking lessons too, and I put them with the other teachers. So I match the students with the teachers, which I think will, so they can work out.
No, I think that's great that you do that because nowadays especially, these kids, are so hard to keep them. It's rough on these kids today. It really is. I mean, I got to say, my two kids, thank God they're great kids and everything, but something I can see just by what's going on out there in the world. You turn the news on, everything. I mean, these young kids really, they have it hard out there with all the drug issues and all these things that they have to be faced with. I find it very difficult. So to me, music is a great out for a lot of these kids, So if you're thinking about drugs and everything else and doing all that kind of crap, go pick up a guitar at the store and start learning it. Whatever you got to do, take lessons at Stoughton Music Center or go online, whatever you got to do. But that's a great way to express yourself without having to worry about getting in trouble, messing up your life, right?
Yeah, if you put music as part of your life, you're on the right direction.
That's right. I agree with Robert there. And I really, actually, I think we covered a lot of bases here, but I do want to make sure that we understand that we have a great music store in Stoughton. And for all you parents out there and kids that are interested, you watch these shows, American Idol, all these America's Got Talent. I didn't even know all the names anymore. There's so many of them.
So many, yeah.
But if you are watching these shows, you young kids, and you sing at home, parents, if you see a little glitch, a little anything that you see that the kid sings a lot in the shower when he's taking a shower, maybe you should consider it a little bit. Maybe go talk to Robert at the store. Call him up. Why don't you give the people out there your phone number and some information?
Sure. Phone number is 781-344-8772. We are located on Route 138, 968 Washington Street, right out of Stoughton Center, halfway between the Town Spa Pizza and Stoughton Center. We're open 7 days a week also, and our website is stoughtonmusic.com, and we always update our Facebook page and always feature new products when they come in. So like us on Facebook as well. And I want to thank Stoughton for being so supportive of a music store, being able to have me stay in business for 30 years. They've had a great program in the schools for so many years, and it's run very well.
That's great, Robert, and I'm really happy to have you as my first guest in Stoughton.
Thank you.
And once again, I'd like to also thank SMAC, phenomenal people over here at the studio. Michael Hammond, Jeffrey Pickett, everybody, CJ, who's been working with me on my show now. And, you know, I'm looking forward to a lot of good shows coming up in Stoughton. Actually, I have some great guests planned to be coming on. So plan on watching true original artists. And I have a special thing for you people out there today. I have a clip of a show that I was involved in a while back. And I'd like to take a few minutes and show this clip for you. It was filmed and edited and taken care of completely by Roxanne here at the studio. She did a great job. And I'm going to play that clip. We're going to play it right now. And then I'll come back and say goodnight. But sit back and enjoy this clip. This is at Cafe Portugal in New Bedford, Mass. Phenomenal restaurant. And this is myself and my partner, Colleen Marshall. And she's phenomenal. And my friend Tony Muniz, which opened up our show that night. Just a quick 5 to 6 minute clip. I hope you enjoy it. And we'll be back to say goodnight. Hello everybody, Joe Kidd here from True Original Artists. We're here at Cafe Portugal in New Bedford, Mass, taping a great show tonight. We're gonna see what the Portuguese culture is all about when it comes to Portuguese music, a very fine Portuguese restaurant, and a great entertainer. This is Mr. Tony Muniz performing tonight, doing the opening show for myself, Joe Kidd, and Colleen Marshall that will be singing with me tonight. And as you can see, the people are all dancing here together. So as you pan over here, see everybody enjoying themselves, dancing, having fun after having a nice meal. So this has been a great night. So far, everyone's having a fun time. We'll get back to you in a little bit, but we're going to be showing clips of tonight all through the night on the show. Thank you very much, and we're going to be right back.
I'm only dreaming about the time I'm gonna be with you. Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the things you say and do, and it's so nice to hear you say you're gonna please me in every way. Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the things you say together. For eternity, for eternity, for eternity. Já estão sem saber, mas o que fazer? Estão sem controlar, não te mais pensar. Aroma segredo, já I'm gonna be wiping your weary eyes. Para negar o seu jantar, deixa passar esta nossa brincadeira.
I wanna roll in my heart, there we will be. A little gambling music, but when you're with me now, baby. What should we let us not say without a gun? Baby, when it's love, if it's not a baby.
Come on, tonight's the night. Let's give it up. I got my money. Let's spend it up. Ain't nobody loves me better. Makes me happy.
Come on and dance with me, dance with me, let's dance the night away. Come on and dance with me.
Hello again, Joe Kidd here. We had a great time tonight. We've been singing, dancing, having a great time at Cafe Portugal in New Bedford. Hope we got a lot of nice shots with you people dancing and everything. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves. And I am really tired right now, but I had a great time. I want to thank Roxanne for filming for us tonight, for True Original Artists. This is Joe Kidd, absolutely saying good night and thank you. Hello and welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that little piece there. That was Colleen Marshall and myself playing at the Cafe Portugal in New Bedford. Great restaurant, trust me. Check it out on Saturday nights. They have my friend Tony Muniz, which was playing there in the beginning of that segment. And he does a great job playing, singing, and he does a lot of Portuguese and American music too. So we had a lot of fun that night working up there. But anyways, tonight's guest was Robert Tarchara from Stoughton Music Center. And Rob,
I want to thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
coming
SMAC
on.
for bringing me on to talk about my business. I love to come in.
That's right. And I want to make sure everyone remembers that Stoughton Music Center is right on Washington Street, down the street from the VFW, actually diagonally across the street from, what's that restaurant's
Well, it's
name?
now the Corner Cafe. Used to be
Cafe.
Zachary's, yes, right across the street from there.
Used to be Zachary's, now it's Corner Cafe, plug to them. And but it's directly diagonally across in that little plaza there. Like I said, parents, you have children that want to learn an instrument, send them right down to Robert Tarchara down at Stoughton Music Center. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Joe Kidd saying good night and God bless. Thank you.
Set me free.